New keyword permanent for buffs that carry over from battle to shop. This is the axolotl and the chicken. Things that happen during the fight, the buffs last forever. Add a new keyword stock, which is just short for add X to the shop. So the mouse and the crow are now stronger because they do not replace the shop food. They add the food to the shop so you can keep stuff frozen, which is pretty cool. Extra info pages to the pack viewer for pets that have related toys, foods, or perks. Added option to use the native cursor. Changed abilities so that knockout, after attack, and hurt also trigger if the pet fainted. This is really good. It's huge for the rhino, the blowfish, the camel, stuff like that. Change shop to upgrade food capacity on tier 3. Now there are 3 food options. I think. Or maybe it's saying it upgrades from 1 to 2 on tier 3 instead of on tier 2. I think that's what it means. So you still only have 1 option on tier 2. Change shops to newly added pets and foods won't override frozen ones. Wow, wow, wow. Nice. And the sloth now spawns on the left. Porcupine, yeah, porcupine. Cow still replaces. I think that's fair. If cow stocked, that'd be too strong. Because then you could buy the cow with a waffle in your shop. Shop has 2 extra empty spaces to hold more pets and food. Pets and food are stocked from the edges. Change roles so pets and food are ordered by tiers. So sloth is on the left. Stacking 2 level 2 pets won't give shop rewards, but it still gives level up rewards, which is important. So 2 level 2 fish still gives level up rewards. Change the knockout sound. Huge. Pets with abilities that target opposite pets will always find a target. So that's a buff to the hawk. If you're going all sniper teams, if there is not a pet in slot 1, the hawk will target slot 2. And now in versus, you can't try and counter people's hawks. Fix hard mode achievements bugs. I want to see if there's any hard mode changes. Fix start of turn pets not activating when dead. They will now always activate. Fish plus chocolate cake now activates the fish's ability. Probably never going to be useful. It's all ghosts today. That's sad. Fix egg versus egg not ending in a draw. And finally, here, a list of all the changes. Ant. Better stats, less buff. Still strong. Beaver now gives attack, which I think makes it better. Beetle no longer stats the shop. It now gains a honey, meat bone, or garlic perk. So at level 1 is basically a cricket. It's a 1-2 that summons a 1-1. The level 2 beetle's kind of good. I think beetle's all right. Bulldog is now on after attack instead of hurt. So it's less good against mosquitoes, which I think is good. It's a little bit of a nerf. Butterfly now targets the enemy, so it's less consistent. Bulldog eel is now dead, yeah. Chinchilla. It now just summons level 1, level 2, level 3 instead of multiple, so you can't get multiple level ups. Chipmunk was horrible, and now it's even worse. You stock a 1 gold copy of the food instead of giving free food. So, like, what's the point? Fish is gutted. Instead of all friends +1/+1, it is now only 2 friends. So, rip the fish. Ladybug, food bot gained 2 attack until the end of battle. Now its friend gains perk. So Ladybug is even worse. Fish, yeah, fish you still buy because it's a 2/3, but it's not nowhere near as good. The moth is stronger. The stats from its ability are worse, but its health, it can now just, if you buy a moth and put it in the front, it's a 3/3. And it's the only 3/3 tier 1, technically. So moth is fantastic. I think you just buy one of them. Change mouse. Stocks an apple. The stats are swapped, which makes it a little bit worse, I think. And then instead of 2 apples, it gives a +2/+2 or a +3/+3 apple. So a tiny bit worse. Mouse is basically the same. Otter, 07s to the otter. It's a 1/3, but now it only gives health. So sad. Crab's a 4/1. The crab is back. The crab is here to stay. Look at that. Dodo's now a 4/2, but it's now a tier 3, and then the stats are better. I like it. I think Dodo's good. Yeah, that's fine. Good change. Still strong like it used to be. Elephant is now a tier 3. And it is now after attack, which makes it a tiny bit worse. And the stats are basically the same. So Elephant's a lot worse. Flamingo went down to a 3/2. I think that's fair. Flamingo is a really strong tier 2. Frigate Bird now does not give hurt pets health. Whenever a friend gains an ailment, you remove the ailment. So you can pair the Frigate Bird. If there's a weekly where there's a ton of bats or toads, let's say a weekly has bat and toad, you can go Frigate Bird and kind of maybe help against it. Or if there's like sea urchin and cuttlefish. If there's all 4 in a weekly and there's Frigate Bird, maybe you buy it. Elephant triggers even if it dies. Yeah, so the elephant gets the same amount of triggers, but it doesn't happen before it attacks. So if you're playing like Triceratops, it's worse because the first attack is weak. Frigate Bird's cool. It's probably very inconsistent though. Maybe it's good in lobbies. Nate, thank you for the 3 months. Goldfish is pretty cool. It's much stronger, but it's a tier 3, and it increases its gold. So if you just get a level 2 goldfish and hold on to it for a long time, you can sell it for like 20 gold, which is fun. I don't know if it's strong, but it's fun. Lizard's a 1/3, and now it only works 2 times a turn. So the lizard's just worse overall. Raccoon's a tier 3. From target. I think target and nearest enemy ahead is the exact same thing. So it's just 1 tier higher. Rat is 3/6 versus 4/5. It's about the same. Swan is down to a 1/2 because Swan is the strongest unit in the game. Tabby Cat is a 4/2 from a 5/3. And now instead of eats food, it's on gain perk. So the Tabby Cat's horrible. It wasn't even good before. And now they made it more restrictive. I don't like it. Toucan. Give the pet's food perk to the nearest from behind. Copy food perk to the nearest from behind. Basically the same. Badger is a 6/3 now. Blowfish is a tier 4, but now it does more damage and it works on feint, so I think it's good. Camel's now a 2/4, but Camel works on feint, so it's about the same. Dog is a 2/3, and it gains more stats. So dog's a little bit better. Still weird. Tamarin's a 3/3. Its percentages are bad. Tamarin's really hard to work now. Guinea fowl's a little bit worse, but it's hurt, so it works on feint. Kangaroo is tier 2, but its buffs are worse, but its stats are a little bit better. Kangaroo, you can't take into the late game anymore, which is the only scary thing. I guess it's fine. Most people didn't take Kangaroo. Like level 3 Kangaroo late game was still good. Level 3 Kangaroo now is not. Because level 3 Kangaroo is worse than a level 2 previously. Owl is now a 1/2. Owl is completely different. Owl is a 1/2, start a turn, you get a mouse. So it's pretty good on a 4-pet team. This is on the live server now. Puppy, this is all the new stuff for the puppy pack. There's new toys. Puppy is a 3/3 now, and it gives a toy, which it gives either a, what is it? An oven mitt, which will give you a +2/+3 lasagna in a few turns, or it will give you I don't even know the other one. It gives weakness to the opposing team, I think. Seagull's a higher tier, more stats, because ailments and perks are now more valuable, it seems. Snail's tier 2. It's on end of turn and only gives health. You play it differently, but I think it's still pretty good. Have you ever picked the other one for the puppy? No, I haven't. That's why. The toilet paper, yes, and it gives weakness. Armadillo's tier 5, and it gives all pets health instead of giving your own pets health. It's pretty good with peanut teams, but other than that, it's kind of weird. Bison is the same, but the stats are worse because Bison could just carry games if you got it early. Buffalo works on 3 friends sold, and it has unlimited triggers. So it's kind of better, kind of worse. The scaling is worse, but if you can do it more than 3 times, then it's better. Caterpillar is a 1/1, and then the butterfly copies the enemy, which we read before. So it's less consistent. The crow now stocks chocolate instead of replacing, which is better. The Doberman only gains attack, but it's more attack. The dragonfly is a 1/1. I don't know. The dragonfly is strong, but 1/1s are just weird. I don't like it. The falcon only works 3 times, which it was kind of only working. Like, if you got your falcon to work 5 times in a battle, you're probably winning anyways. So I think this isn't really that big of a deal. And it works if it faints as well, so. Jerboa only works 2 times a turn just because of the owl giving you apples every turn, making the Jerboa more consistent. So the Jerboa is consistent, but you can only do it twice. The llama is now a tier... Oh, it's not tiered down. I think the llama is a tier 3. It's not. It's just worse. Okay. It was a tier 3, and then they changed it. And it was like +1/+1. Mole's a tier 3. Remove the... On feint, remove the 3 nearest friendly perks to summon 1 mole. Mole is a very good transition pet with like a beetle or something. Llama is tier 4. In the test server, they made it tier 3, and it was +1/+1. And they moved it back to tier 4 because it was too strong at tier 3. Porcupine is tier 3, same amount of health, basically same amount of attack. Deals less damage back, though. But it works on feint. Rooster's now a tier 5, which I think makes sense. Squirrel does not add shop food, it only discounts them, so the squirrel's much worse. Worm is a tier 2. Start a turn, it gives you apples for 2 gold. So more consistency with apples for the Jerboa, but the Jerboa only works twice a turn. Eagle is now going to give you a 5/5, 10/10, or 15/15, which on average I would say is worse. And then if you level up into the Eagle on tier 4s, it will only summon tier 5s until you get to turn 9. Lionfish now deals damage on feint. It's pretty good, but it's completely different, and it's a tier 6 now. Microbe's a tier 4. Moose. Moose is worse. Does not scale your team, but only gives health for each tier 1 shop pet. Seems weird. And it unfreezes the shop still. It should not be unfreezing the shop when it's this bad. Nurse Shark now only spins up to 6 trumpets. So Nurse Shark is doing less damage, but it saves more of your trumpets. Rhino's even stronger, and it works on feint. The Seal only gives attack now, which is worse. Seal's kind of gutted. Turkey stats are worse. They've changed the turkey from 3/3 to 2/3 like 3 or 4 times, and it's like rotated back and forth. Alpaca is now a tier 5, and it only works 1 time a turn. And instead of giving more experience, it just works more times a turn. Alpaca isn't as OP as it used to be, but it's still strong. It's still good for like accelerating your level ups. Did they mention the knockout change on the patch notes? They did. Cat only works 2 times a turn, which I think is fair. Cat was broken with cow. Chicken now works on faint. And it's really good with pteranodon and mushroom and stuff and parrot. Chicken's different, but chicken's really cool. Dragon. Other pets and friends. I think it's the exact same thing. I think the dragon's the same. German Shepherd got nerfed, and it's until end of battle. German Shepherd nerf was needed. Gorilla stats are better. Highland Cow got nerfed a little bit, which I think is great. Drop out. Thank you for the 5. Octopus works on after attack, but it works even if it faints. But it makes it so it can't like chain super like basically indefinitely. Because like if the octopus was going to hit a unit and it killed it with its ability would then go off again. Same with elephant blowfish. That's why elephant's after attack now. So it can't chain. Piranha is the exact same because hurt and faint. Hurt is now hurt and faint. Saber-toothed tiger is a little bit worse because it works on faint. Tiger is now stronger. T-Rex is weaker, but it doesn't have the gold restriction and it hits tier 5s or higher. So T-Rex is insane. T-Rex is really strong if you have tier 5, tier 6. Croissant's a tier 3 now. Meatbone does less damage. Lemon is stronger, but only works twice. And then here are the changes to the hard mode. Action figure you can't get on tier 1 now. And the coconut is for every second shop tier. So action figure isn't as insanely strong. Boomerang only targets 1 friend, which is huge. Cardboard box is now on tier 4. Pill bottle's now on tier 5. This is the one that summons scorpions. This is the one that kills your front unit. Scorpion is the 2 most healthy friends to 1 instead of the front and back. So scissors are a lot stronger. Rubber duck gives a stronger duck, which is now worse. Lunchbox summons level 2 ants, which is worse. Glasses is tier 3. Trampoline summons a stronger kangaroo. Boot does less damage. The stronger kangaroo isn't that huge of a deal. The boot is still really strong. The rocking horse is still really strong. And the toy mouse summons all 5 5s. So basically all the easy toys they made harder. All the very, very hard toys are still very hard, but they made them a little bit easier. That's it. And then there's the new pets. All of the ones that are grayed out. Gecko, if you have a toy, gains health. Ferret. Choose a toy from tier 1. The toys are Balloon, where when it breaks after 2 turns, it gives the rightmost friend +1/+1. Or a tennis ball. At the start of turn, deal 1 damage to 2 random enemies, which is pretty good. The Robin, start a battle, summon a 2/3 nest with the egg perk. It's basically like a lower tier macaque. Beluga Surgeon on faint, summon a dolphin. Beluga Surgeon's insane. Tier 2, and you get 2 2/3s. It's basically a better spider. Unless the spider hits a beluga. Or the spider hits a sheep. Minion.drill.name. On faint, it breaks a toy, which makes it faster. The lemur, you get a tier 2 toy, which will give all of your friends health, or you give your front unit garlic. The Hoopoe bird deals 2 damage to the first and last enemy on faint. Hoopoe bird's pretty strong. Or sorry, yeah, spider doesn't hit beluga. Spider hits tier 3. Flying squirrel, when a toy is broken, you resummon it. Flying squirrel's pretty good with certain pets. The pangolin on faint, if you have a toy, you give the nearest from behind +5 health. The pangolin's really good as well at pivoting. Puppy, we read before, gives you oven mitt, which gives you lasagna, or gives you toilet paper, which makes them weak. The minion.arabiantar.name gives chili on faint to the pet behind. So it's like a turtle, but instead of melon, it gives chili. The whale shark, when given any perk or ailment, it removes it, and then it gains permanent stats. So just feeding the whale shark a garlic is like feeding it a pear. The chameleon on faint will activate the toy ability as level 1 or 2. This works in battle as well as in the shop, so it's pretty good. The Gharial gives a tier 4 toy, which will give the rightmost friend Melon, or will deal damage to the lowest health enemy. The Stonefish deals attack damage directly to whoever knocked this out. The Stonefish is like a better Porcupine. The Stonefish is insanely strong. If you have a level 2 Stonefish with 25 attack, it kills anything. It'll trade with a 50-50 with Coconut. Stonefish is really good. Sorry, there's also the Toy Gun. Deals 6 damage to the last enemy. The Panther perks are 2 times stronger, 3 times stronger, 4 times stronger. And this works with basically anything. If the Panther has a honey, it'll summon 4 bees at level 3. If it has a mushroom, it'll summon 4 panthers. If it has a stake, it'll do 80 damage. Axolotl, whenever a friend gains a perk, you give it permanent stats. So if you have a turtle and you go in the fight, once the axolotl, or once something gives or gets a melon, the axolotl will give it +1/+1, and it lasts forever because of the new permanent word. Snapping Jaw Turtle gives Skewer to the nearest from behind, which is like Chili, but it deals damage to multiple pets for less damage. The Mosasaurus, when toy breaks, gives adjacent health. Mosasaurus is pretty good with toy build. It's a lot of stats. Stingray is the other toy pet. For tier 5, you can get +6/+6 to a unit. You can reduce the highest health enemy by 40%, kind of like a skunk. And there's only 2 for tier 5. The Mantis Shrimp is like the Crocodile, but it hits the front row and it does more damage. Mantis Shrimp's really strong. Anglerfish on buy. You can choose 1 free pet from your last opponent to stock. Anglerfish is really good. And the Anglerfish is how we're going to start seeing more sloths. Because if you go up against a sloth and you have an Anglerfish, you can potentially get a sloth. Elephant Seal, gain perk, gives friend +1/+1 attack, double in battle. So the Elephant Seal is what the old seal was, but it's stronger because it targets your entire team. But it's only on perks. And if you have Elephant Seal with like a turtle in battle, it gives a lot of stats. Elephant Seal I think is fantastic. Puma, friendly toy repeats its ability, which is really good. And then the Mongoose is the highest tier toys. You have a Mammoth ability, a Walrus ability, or you can give the rightmost friend Coconut, which is really strong. Does it make it? It's more stocked pets. So at level 3, it'll just give you 3. But it gives you the same pet 3 times. So you'd get 3 sloths. Which is kind of cool. And that's it. Those are all the changes. And then we'll see the new backgrounds eventually. Oh, we get to see them now. The castle wall, the Christmas cabin, the Coliseum, cyberspace, the pagoda, the playground, the space station, and the Wild West town.